Corey Sparks. And a real athlete,
I am an athlete. I am going to show up and dominate.
Wally Lukaczynski, covering everything Titletown and pro college and high school sports around South Central Wisconsin. Here are these heroes, really heroes?
Just proving the hero that I am, just in the nick of time to be tortured for all of your enjoyments at home.
Okay, here are these heroes now. Broadcasting live on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hello and happy Friday, everybody. The official start of Labor Day weekend, I feel like, is underway. 4 o'clock. A lot of people are filing out of work. We hope you have an amazing weekend, and we're here to help you start your weekend out right. This is the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. We've had about 24 hours to the minute to breathe, to digest, to take in the MICAH Parsons news, and it still doesn't feel real. More to come with Jason Wilde in just a couple of moments on that. The Badgers football team opened up their season against Miami of Ohio. We'll talk about the steps forward they took and some relieving news that was released in just the last couple of hours. It's not as bad, nearly as bad as it looked in the middle of the second quarter. Beaver Dam football week 2 preview. They are probably en route, if not already there, to take on Menominee Falls after blowing out Fort Atkinson 48-0 in week 1. And we wrap up today's program with Friday picks here on the Dam Sports Show. I'm Corey Sparks here with you, and Wally Lukaczynski is here as well in the Daily Dodge TV studios. We have Jack Wilski upstairs in the 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam studios. Happy Friday, sir.
Oh, happy Friday. I'm pinching myself still. MICAH Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. It doesn't feel real, to your point. I'm itching already. Next Sunday, we finally get to see, I think for a lot of us, we're expecting a top 5-ish defense in the green and gold. So that's a new world, and one that I think that 24 hours ago would have been very lofty expectations to say they get to top 5.
Yeah.
Now it feels like an expectation.
It was absolutely crazy, and I want to welcome the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde, and now you can hear him live on Wilde and Tausch weekdays from 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. Jason, quiet day in the sports world yesterday. How are you?
I'm great. They were a top 5 defense last year, Walter. I think they were 5th in yards, 6th in scoring, or vice versa, as Tausch likes to say that phrase.
Vice versa.
I'm on my way to Lambeau to meet MICAH Parsons. I just drove by a high school field where they're getting ready for a game. You could smell the grill. I got my taste of high school football last week when I covered Middleton and Bayport, and then went to the Ashwaubenon Oshkosh North game. So again, I just want to tell you guys you're doing the Lord's work, and I love the enthusiasm you have for high school athletics, but there's probably just a little bit more enthusiasm at the moment about MICAH Parsons being a Packer.
Yeah, I would say it's safe to say that. Jason, if you're allowed to say the word on radio, what's the first word that came out of your mouth when you learned about this news yesterday?
Well, it wasn't a whole word. It wasn't one word. It was a whole phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, that explains it. So go back. I know I tweeted out the video. I did that. You know, I'm very tech savvy. I don't know if you know that for an old guy.
Oh, aware. Yeah.
But I did the screen record deal and shared the video of my question where I kind of apologized to Goody for the question. And, you know, he gives me a hard time back. We've known each other for a really long time. But after watching it again now after the trade has occurred and learning that the trade parameters, not the contract with Parsons, but the trade parameters had already been worked out, he clearly, I'm asking him about bold moves, and he'd already made a bold move. And he knew he'd made a bold move.
Poker face.
And so, you know, he's got a little smirk on his face, and I can't wait to see him at 5 o'clock and say, hey, yeah, so the trade was already done when I asked you that question, so I want to take back my apology. And Nick Wright on whatever show that is on Fox Sports, by the way, he can apologize to me now his claims that we just let Twitter decide what we're going to ask people.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, that's not really how it works. So looking forward to Micah Parsons, so it's going to be fun.
Vindication. Jason, what does this move do for a guy like Rashawn Gary, who other offenses are typically planning around as the primary pass rushing threat, now knowing he'll be a secondary for us to look at, compared to a game wrecker like Micah Parsons?
Yeah, I would assume he's going to have 20, 21 sacks, right?
That'd be pretty cool.
Look, I mean, let's be honest here. If Micah Parsons is who we think he is the rising tide that lifts all boats. Mm-hmm. And so that will be enormous. Now, I would add to that if Rashawn Gary had been who they drafted him to be and then who they paid him to be, they wouldn't have acquired Micah Parsons. Fair, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
if he himself was a version of Micah Parsons, then this trade isn't necessary. But look, to me, the biggest surprise of this trade was not. I mean, it built momentum. You started to feel. I talked to a few people. I know other reporters did as well. That there was legitimate interest. But the stumbling block in most people's minds was Jerry Jones isn't this crazy, right?
Turns
out he is. And there are some non-crazy points to be made, right? It's a lot of money. I mean, the Packers are on the hook now for $210 million over 5 years. There's also the issue of he can be a distraction. He's got a podcast, which Lord knows what a big distraction you two are. So anybody that's got a microphone, they can be distractions.
Fair point.
But I didn't think that the Cowboys would actually trade him. So that was the one part that was surprising to me. Now beyond that, to answer your question about Gary and Lucas Van Ness, mm-hmm. The surprise of the trade to me was that it was Kenny Clark that was the player.
Yeah.
Not because Kenny Clark isn't good. He has been good. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. But I'm fairly certain the Packers were going to move on from him after this season anyway. So not only did they give up the 2 first-round picks, which should be low first round, and if you're a Packers fan, hopefully 32nd mm-hmm. in the first round, but you gave up a guy that you really didn't really want anyway. Like if Jerry Jones asked for Kenny Clark, I'm guessing that Goody tried to pretend like it was a tough question, and man, we really
internal monologue
really
of jackpot
with him. Okay, all right, you drive a hard bargain, Jerry, but we'll do it.
Jera's out there just high-fiving everybody, smiling around. Jason, I know that this is kind of obvious to say, but when you make a move like this, it's quite obvious that you're saying and screaming from the mountaintops, we have Super Bowl aspirations. And a week ago, it felt like a division title and an NFC championship appearance would have been viewed as a success. But now it feels almost like an expectation. What do you believe Packer fans should expect this fall with this team?
Yeah, look, with great paychecks come great responsibility. I don't think that's how that saying normally goes, but that's how it's going to go now, right? Because it is. You pay. Look, they are paying. Like, I don't know if I even realized this in real time. Like, the average per year for the highest paid non-quarterback had been, I believe, $41.5 million a year.
TJ Watt, I believe. I think you're right.
And this deal averages 47-ish.
Big jump.
Like, that's a lot. I mean, that's and again, I don't know if they were bidding against themselves. I don't know enough about, and hopefully we'll get some idea from Goody what exactly this all entailed. But yeah, that's a lot. They paid a pretty penny for him. So you should expect a lot in return. And it should ratchet up expectations. And it should ratchet up pressure. All those things should occur here because you made this move. But again, and I'm not saying that they were going to fire those guys. I'm definitely not saying that. But if you continue down this path of 9-8, 10-7, 11-6, and you lose in the first round of the playoffs year after year with a president who said he's not going to give them extensions, and he doesn't like lame ducks. They're under contract this year and next year. You know, if you do the same thing as you did last year, 11-6, lose a playoff game, he's not going to give you a 4-year extension. He's going to give you an extra year on your contract. And then if you do the exact same thing in 2026, he might very well fire you. Mm-hmm. I mean, remember, he's the son of Carmen Policy, who was part of the San Francisco leadership that essentially fired Bill Walsh. Mm. And if you've got people that are willing to fire Bill Walsh, you know, that proves that anybody can be fired. Now, my point is that by doing what they have done, they have made a bold move that says, this is not good enough. We demand more from ourselves. We demand more from our players. And kudos to Goody, because Goody was the one that said we need to ramp up our urgency, and he ramped up his own urgency by making this trade. He deserves credit for that.
Well, Jason, I know that you're very busy. You got to talk to some of the men of the hour here in this next hour or so.
You are the man of the hour. You are an athlete.
I am an athlete. That is just not
great callback.
It's a great callback. Great callback. But I do want to end with this question for you, because you brought up Ed Policy, and this is super aggressive. There's no way around it. Do you believe that this is a sign of that aggressiveness and, frankly, uncharacteristic aggressiveness from the Packers going forward with this particular regime?
I'm not sure I would go that far, right? Like I don't know. I don't know if Ed had anything. Like, I don't think he's jumping up and down on the tables and telling them to do this. That's not his job. That's not his role. So that would surprise me if he engaged in that type of behavior. But it was. I would argue that the pressure was maybe unspoken, and it was spoken with what he said about the extension stuff, though. There's no denying that. So those guys know that they're on the clock. And again, I've used this line for a really long time, but they call this place Title Town. They don't call it first-round playoff exit town. Mm-hmm. True. And so the expectations were already there, but to your guys' point, they have been ratcheted up bigly, and rightfully so. So we'll see. You know, again, I'm sure the Chicago Bears, when they acquired Khalil Mack in 2018 and outbid the Packers to do it, I'm sure they thought that they were going to go win a division, win a title, you know, get back to a Super Bowl, add a Lombardi trophy to the one from the 1985 team. Mm-hmm. When even I'm not even sure I was a teenager yet. I don't think I.
Were you a whippersnapper or a knucklehead?
A knucklehead.
I was. No, you guys. Well, you don't outgrow knucklehead. You guys are proof of that.
Oh, permanent knucklehead. I can live with that.
I was definitely a whippersnapper for sure. Okay. There's a lot of snapping of whips. So, look, I'm eager to see. Now, I was fascinated by this season already. Now I'm even more fascinated now that they've done this bold maneuver.
Well, Jason, say hi to Micah for us, if you will. We're looking forward to talking to you next week.
I'm just going to tell him Jack said hello.
That works. You know what? We'll still call that a win. Dan Sports shows hello.
Show. Yeah, appreciate it, Jason.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
That is the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year and soon-to-be best friend of Micah Parsons. I think they're going to get along. Jason Wilde. You can hear him live on Wilde and Tausch weekdays from 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. When we return, Billy Edwards Jr., quarterback for Wisconsin, gave us a scare yesterday, but in the end, Wisconsin Badgers football did something for the first time in 3 years, and that's not the only reason that they took a step forward. That is up next. This is the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
Dear Brewers fans, where do you find the best views and the most electrifying baseball action American Family Field has to offer? The answer is Toyota territory, located in right field. This Grand Slam experience covers all the bases and gives fans in the stands an exclusive live look at our home run hitter, the Toyota Land Cruiser. Creating a lasting legacy, the Toyota Land Cruiser is seasoned to perform like your Milwaukee Brewers. Add Toyota to your lineup today. Now batting, Toyota.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At Prairie Ridge Health, our orthopedic and sports medicine team is committed to personalized care that meets your individual needs. From arthritis to complex sports injuries, we treat a wide range of conditions with the latest in both surgical and non-surgical options. We're here to help you move better and feel stronger. Now seeing patients in Beaver Dam, Columbus, and Sun Prairie. Learn more at prairieridge.health. Prairie Ridge Health, inspired by you.
Are you tired of battling a damp, musty basement? Air Care in Beaver Dam has a solution for you. The April Air Dehumidifier will significantly improve the air quality in your basement by removing up to 100 pints of moisture per day. That's 12.5 gallons. The April Air Dehumidifier is quiet, energy efficient, and backed by an impressive 5-year replacement warranty. If you want a crisp, dry lower level for more living space or storage, call Air Care at 920-356-8860. Big enough to serve you and small enough to care.
Are you aware of who's making your healthcare decisions? Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster with Columbus Family Dental. Healthcare is a very personal thing that requires careful thought and planning. These choices should be made by you and your doctor, not an administrator or an insurance company. At Columbus Family Dental, we're a local, doctor-owned clinic, which allows us to put your health and well-being first. Call us today at 623-5559 to schedule a free, no-pressure consultation to see if we're the right fit for you.
Slumberland, Beaver Dam, and Watertown. Our Labor Day sale is going on right now. We've got Sealy Posturepedic mattresses starting as little as $299. Our Sofa Park Queen Size Sealy Posturepedic mattress is as little as $499, or grab the pillow top version at $599. Save up to $800 on Purple mattresses and Power bases. Save up to $800 on select adjustable mattresses with Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and Stearns & Foster's. Check out our amazing no interest for up to 72 months. Apply in just moments. Our Labor Day sale is going strong. Shop local and save big.
They're doing their best to work like Wilde today. What's your excuse? Don't let your eyes or ears miss anything happening on the Damn Sports Show. Presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun.
If you are looking for a one-stop shop for all things sports cards, make sure you head on over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun. Or you can check out their app, whether you're into sports cards, Pokemon cards, or anything in between. Real Sports Cards has you covered. They've got live break streaming right on the app. You can grab those individual cards on the go, be a part of a group, and watch for your favorite players and teams as the packs get opened in real time. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store today, just as we are in the Daily Dodge TV YouTube stream at the moment. Look for the orange logo and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards. They are your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more. Welcome back to the Damn Sports Show on 1430, ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. 920-887-9595, the talk and text line, your way into the show. That's the number that Nihal called. Nihal, how are you? It's been a bit.
Yeah, it's been a while. How are you guys?
We are awesome, man.
Hard not to be after the last 24 hours, my friend. I got
good time in Wisconsin football. Yeah.
I was going to say, I got to imagine you got juice on both sides here. You fired up, obviously, about MICAH Parsons, but how are we feeling about the Badgers getting the win last night?
You know, I'm glad we got the win.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to get a shutout, but the left tackle situation is kind of
Amen, brother.
Not great.
Amen, brother.
So I was just thinking about with our schedule coming up. I don't know, man.
Whether it's Danny O'Neill or Billy Edwards Jr., I don't like the blindside situation right now. Not my favorite thought at the moment.
No, not quite.
Right, exactly. No, so we just got to think about Micah Parsons and the Brewers. They're doing work right now, so.
It makes life easier. I tell you what, though, you're trying to find a spin into the positives, though, looking at the Badgers. Until that last drive last night, the defense allowed 69 total yards.
Yeah, dominance.
No, they were great. I mean, Cheeks, I thought he was awesome.
Sebastian.
He looks like an NFL player to me. So, I think overall, and Zachman had a nice pick. So, yeah, I mean, there were definitely positives, but I'm a little worried about once Big Ten play starts about what the offensive line's going to do.
Yeah, October doesn't look very fun right now from a scheduling perspective. That last 9 games is an absolute gauntlet.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
All right,
No,
Michael,
but
I got to ask about Micah Parsons, though. How are we feeling about that? I know that news shocked us yesterday at 4 o'clock.
Well, look, I wanted to call in to talk about Micah Parsons, and I caught the beginning of your show yesterday, and I'm sure that threw everything off for you guys.
Oh,
but,
the outline went out the window, man.
See you later. Done.
No, for sure. I have a group chat with a bunch of my friends, most of whom are Lions fans, and I texted them 3 days ago that, I think Micah Parsons is going to be a Green Bay Packer. So I've been just kind of waiting for it to happen, for the news to break. And when it did, I FaceTimed my brother, and we just started screaming at each other. We just started screaming, yes. And, I really appreciate Jason's realism and, his approach to, we want to be realistic with our expectations. But, when we were talking after the Eagles game, the one thing we were saying is the Packers don't have enough blue chip players. Mm-hmm. And now we potentially have 3 on defense with Xavier McKinney, Micah Parsons, and if Adrian Cooper takes that jump that I think he's going to take, I think we have maybe 3 on defense, and I think that cannot be understated. And, Tom Pelissero, he tweeted out the contract details, and it looks more like $42 million per year over 5 years. Obviously, the extension kicks in after this year, so that's a little bit more palatable. But even at $47 million per year, T.J. Watt's making $41, Myles Garrett's making $40, and they're 30 and 29 years old, respectively. And then you look at Micah. Micah can line up anywhere along the defensive line. He can play. He can line up in the A gap, the B gap, on the edge. He can play linebacker, off-ball linebacker. You can drop him into coverage, and it's not like Preston Smith in coverage. This is a guy who ran a sub 4.4 40, who can drop back into coverage. So I think that versatility and the fact that he's in the middle of his prime, he's 26 years old. You trade what you need to for him, and you pay him what he wants. In my opinion.
Well, and if there's anything we know about Goody, it's that he doesn't put his wallet down. He doesn't invest in players unless he feels like their best years are ahead of them. The thought that Micah Parsons could get better, that possibility is out there, has to be horrifying for everyone. Before we let you go, Nihal, how does the NFC standings look? The best teams in the NFC. Are we up there with the Eagles? Are we ahead of the Lions? Where do the Packers stack up post yesterday's move?
I think the Eagles are still, they're still the top of the conference. They just have so much talent up and down the board. They have some continuity. They don't really make they don't make the mistakes the Packers have made in the last couple of years. But the thing that stands out to me about this offseason is we go and we sign Aaron Banks to a big deal, an interior lineman, and we go and get a premier edge rusher. And what are the Eagles' 2 greatest strengths? Their defensive line, Jalen Carter on the inside, and their offensive line. And we, I think, are trying to, I think Goody's saying, well, the Eagles are the team we have to go through. Let's try to go strength on strength there and beat them. And I think with that, so I think we move much closer to the Eagles than we were. The Lions, I think, are still the Lions. Tough to say with the coordinator situation, but until we see that they're worse than last year, I don't know if we're definitively better, but I think we have a much better chance than we did last year against the Lions for sure now.
The Lions, it's the same kind of thing, too, where you're looking at the Eagles. What is one of the strengths of that team? The trenches on both sides of the ball for them as well. I love the idea of going best on best here. And going back to what you even said with the Micah Parsons paying what he wants, the cap is constantly going up. Here in 3 years, he's going to be the 5th highest paid defensive player, and we're going to be like, wow, that's not that bad of a price. Goody was ahead of the curve.
It's an arms race.
This is what always happens. It's the world we live in. The cap's going to keep going up. You have to spend money sometimes. So I couldn't be more in lockstep with you. And as always, it's amazing to hear from you. So I hope you're enjoying the Micah Parsons stuff. And then let's celebrate. Roll badge together. They got a W. It's maybe not pretty enough, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Baby steps.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Yes,
Hey, you're the man, Nihal. We'll see you soon.
We were due for a Nihal call.
I love every time he talks to me. It reminds me of like sitting in school where we would break down and get into all these games. Just what a salt of the earth, great guy, and very realistic. Which in sports talk we need a dose of realism every now and then because it feels like it's only extreme here, and he likes to bridge us back in the middle.
Yeah, I think he's similar to Gabe Neitzel, who joins us every Monday, in that you can kind of just ground the situation, you can rely on reason, but it's okay to react positively to something like that. I heard, we just had Jason Wilde join us in the first block. You can hear him live on Wilde and Tausch weekdays from 9 to noon on ESPN Beaver Dam. And him and Tausch started going back and forth, doing the thought exercise of, there's always Debbie Downers. There's always, in any fan base, including the Packers, susceptible to it, who are going to find something negative to say about any type of news. I don't know the angle with what happened yesterday. Like, I genuinely cannot conjure up an argument to go, oh, not glad we did that. We should have made a different decision. Like, you can't claim he was overpaid because it is an arms race. He's not going to be the highest paid at his position in a couple of years, maybe even by next year. So I think you can't claim he's had injury issues. You can't claim maybe the character. Is that the route?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it was even a bargain deal that you got him on. So as we see, got another caller joining us here on the line. Let's say hello and figure out what your feelings are on Micah Parsons.
Hi, Wally. Hi, Corey.
Hey, how we doing, Tyler?
Doing good. It ticked me off when they traded Kenny Clark. I liked him.
That's it. I mean, you lose a veteran defensive piece. That's a bummer. But at the same time, you're bringing in arguably the best defensive player in the entire league.
This will be interesting to see how he'll do this year. And turns around last Sunday of next month, we play the Cowboys in Dallas.
Yeah, we get a little homecoming. And look, like, I'm going to miss Kenny Clark too, right? Jason's talked before, Tyler, and we appreciate the call that they're going to miss his leadership. They're going to miss the production that was in the past. But the facts are this. He turns 30 in a couple of months. All jokes aside, he's going to be on the wrong side of 30. And usually at that point in your football career, you have some exceptions. But with Goody, he's always looking to get the best out of somebody ahead of time. Invest in them and hope that 2, 3, 4 years down the road. The other end of this is they got Micah Parsons, and it was Kenny Clark. It was not Rashawn Gary. It was not, some people might make the argument they preferred Lucas Van Ness based on what we've seen through 2 years. It was not somebody on their first going on to their second contract. It was someone that the Packers likely were not going to have on their football team after this season. So you just offloaded, and then the next 2 first-round picks, which, if all goes well, are 26th or later, 32 would be the most ideal scenario. I did not believe the return that Jerry Jones got
senile
for Micah Parsons when I saw it released. That was unbelievable.
Senile.
Yeah. That is something else. So
have a wonderful weekend, you two.
You as well. Thank you so much,
Happy Labor Day, Tyler.
The return is something that I feel like I keep going over and refreshing the tweet and going, where's the rest? Like, where's the little show more button on X where you look at the rest of the deal? Like, they didn't throw in another second rounder. Jerry wasn't asking for wide receiver depth, something they do desperately need in Dallas. There's a big drop off. I know they went out and got George Pickens, but 3 on, the one thing the Packers do have is depth. I thought for sure Romeo Doubs, Dontavion Wicks, and they still would have got fleeced. If you only do 2 first-round picks, Kenny Clark and one of the role-play wide receivers, I still feel like they left something on the table. So, yeah, as Hunter brought up yesterday, I hope that everyone's checking in on Jerry Jones and his circle. Maybe asking questions like, should we still be doing this? Should we still be making these decisions? To which he'll probably say, yeah, why not?
He's a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
A rich, grumpy old man who is king of his own castle
Goody
right
must
now.
have been like swallowing his laugh when he got that offer and they were about to go pen to paper on it.
That's why it almost amazes me that we hear that the deal was done first, or the trade before the contract, because I imagine Goody was like, oh my God, we have to get him signed or whatever. I can't believe Jerry said yes. We have to get this done. Because to your point, when we were going through Twitter yesterday and we see this and it's like Kenny Clark 2 first, we were on this show going, well, there's going to be more. We're gonna find out more. Not a big deal. It's part of a deal like
Usually
this.
It doesn't get released all at once. It's like, oh, it was Kenny Clark. Oh, now it's this role player. Oh, there's a day 2 pick. And then, after an hour or two, you understand the whole deal. But no, it was like complete deal. 2 first, Kenny Clark. That's it. See ya. April Fools.
Yeah, dude, I guess this is happening. I'm still partly thinking that this just hasn't happened, and that next Sunday we're gonna get there and he'll be in Dallas and his number 11.
Adam Schefter has been hacked.
Now he was hacked. And everybody just fell for a bit. It was a great one.
Put up or shut up in 30 minutes. If Micah goes and takes the stand, it's over.
Yeah, that's true. Then all of a sudden it is real. They can't confirm.
He's already on the plane. So.
You need to get your fantasy veto from the commissioner, because that's what this was. This was a fantasy football trade that.
Crazy.
It is surreal and does not make any sense whatsoever that they made this happen. But, hey, you know what? Spoilers for us here, and it's going to give us something to be even extra excited for if that was possible for next week.
So I know Wisconsin football fans in general were feeling very optimistic. If you're also a Packers fan, oh, my goodness, we made the swing. We have to be in the Super Bowl conversation, and I agree. You take to social media after yesterday's 17-0 shutout victory over Miami of Ohio, and you're not going to see that same amount of optimism. For every 2 or 3 good comments, it was like 2 or 3 indifferent comments, and 3 or 4, oh, it's the same old dance. And so here's everything. Wisconsin, they opened up their 2025 season yesterday, 17-0 shutout victory over Miami of Ohio, the Redhawks. Billy Edwards Jr. went down on a non-contact injury early on. That is the 3rd straight year a senior transfer quarterback has gone down early in the season. And the last 2 were really not good. Mordecai was in and out, wasn't really ever fully healthy until the ReliaQuist Bowl. And Tyler Van Dyke we never saw again. Plain and simple. So Billy Edwards Jr. goes down, and we got the news a couple of hours ago that it's looking more like a sprain. It's week to week. A lot of people saw the video. It was non-contact. He gave the handoff, and then boom. Oh, okay, this is it. It's ready. Get ready to speak Danny O'Neil, buddy. I'm not going to ask what record this team is finishing with, nor am I making a bold declaration of the whole season. This was one non-conference game against a MAC team. But is this team in a better spot than they were this time last year? Because a lot of people don't think so. It wasn't enough yesterday.
It's not going to be enough for a lot of people until you get that marquee win, but I do think that this team is noticeably better, and that's large part because of the defense. I'll get to concerns here in a second, but you start with the defense that, like I said just a few minutes ago, until the final drive of the game, the Redhawks had mustered 69 total yards. This defense has been terrific. The time of possession looked much more like a Wisconsin Badgers football game that you would have been used to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
40 minutes of time of possession.
Which is what we were begging for.
And you shorten the game the way they did, and you're not going to have as many bites at the apple. But it's not like they weren't moving the ball. Yes, you had that interception down in the red zone. That was a 9-play, 65-yard drive to get that third quarter kicked off.
It was an ugly throw, to be fair.
It was a tough throw, but it was also 4th down.
It was.
It was 4th down.
Basically punted.
Yeah,
and lost the net yards because it was a touchback. Whatever, keep going.
What I will say is that my concern on the offense side of the ball is less about the quarterback situation, because that was an entirely different game plan if you were starting with... Wow.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We had a cough button.
I wish I had a cough button too. But if you were starting this game with Danny O'Neil, it's going to be a different offense than what you saw with the Billy Edwards one early, where they were willing to throw it and sling it around a little bit more. The part that I was a little concerned with is that offensive line, the ability for them to really not dominate the line of scrimmage the way I think we were hoping for.
Especially against a MAC team.
Against a MAC team, you average less than 4 yards a carry. That's where I'm concerned. With that being said, you went out there. There was never a moment in this game, even 3-0 in the third quarter, that you had a thought that the Redhawks were going to get a win. Mm-hmm. This was the Badgers playing Badgers football where they were always in control in this game. I think you're going to see something very similar, but maybe even a little crisper because you are calling a Danny O'Neal offense next week. And if you get that and you look a little bit more like that 34-10-ish win that you and I were clamoring for, then I think people are going to be back in. The excitement will be there. But naturally, I think people got PTSD from what happened last year with the injury.
Understandable.
It is. So I get that, but at the same time, Rome wasn't built in a day. This isn't going to be a 5-7 Badger team last year. Now all of a sudden it's a Russell Wilson Rose Bowl team. It's going to take time.
Yeah, and I think, look, everyone's allowed to have their opinion. If you are not happy with the way that Wisconsin football looks right now, fine. If you think they should be better in year 3 under Luke Fickell, fine. But to claim that they didn't make a step forward from last year at this time, egregious. Last year, early on in the fourth quarter, you might remember, Wisconsin trailed Western Michigan, a worse MAC team, 14-13, and we were all cursing this program beyond belief for it. This year, with their backup QB a few series into his Badgers career, Wisconsin was up 10-0 on a better football team in that conference. The Redhawks didn't have a drive that went beyond 15 yards at that point into the fourth quarter. And there was no doubt in my mind that Luke Fickell's team was taking home a W. There was no doubt. They dominated it. The defense for the Redhawks, it looked like they had a better shot of scoring than the offense did. They couldn't move the ball down the field. This team is better than last year's team at this point. The Billy Edwards Jr. news that he's essentially week to week, maybe Alabama turns into a target date, that is seismic. Or Michigan, or one of the first 5-6 weeks, get him in for the back end of that year. But whether it's Billy Edwards Jr. or Tyler O'Neill, a 17-0 shutout, and I teased this before, the first shutout in 3 years since they beat Illinois State in the 2022 home opener, a.k.a. this is the first shutout in the Luke Fickell era. You have to be optimistic about that.
This is a time of hope right now. I'm not going to allow people to Debbie down what we saw last night.
Yeah, and I had someone call, so we were on the post-game show, it was myself and Riley Yauk, and somebody called in and started to play the what-if game, and again, I'm cool with opinions, but you can play the what-if game both ways. So he goes, O'Neal almost gave up a pick 6, then it would be 17-7. He almost gave up another one, so then it'd be 17-14. Okay, that's fine. We were driving. If he doesn't throw that stupid pick and hits Tretch in the corner of the end zone and everything else stays the same with our 2 picks and the defense being dominant, it's 24-0, and none of you are indifferent about this. I think 24-0 feels a lot different.
It does, and I think that's part of it too. In that last drive, they ran out the clock the old-fashioned Badger way as well. Long 5-minute-plus drive to ice it. That's not something you saw last year. It's not even something you saw the year before, and you're seeing a little bit more of the grit here from this Badgers side.
920-887-9595. We're going to go to break in a second, but before we do have another caller on the line. Welcome to the Damn Sports Show.
Corey, I think you're saying the zeros now just to annoy me.
Oh, it said it's just 17-0?
That's right.
I forgot 17-love. Would that be better, Big
Don't
Jim?
tell me that's the reason for this call.
No.
Okay.
No, I think you're out of your mind. I think you're both out of your minds. I don't think they're any better. I don't think it makes any difference if they're any better. The whole thing is done. The system passed them by. They have to figure out what they are. My biggest question is this. If they're down 28 at Camp Randall going into the fourth quarter, do they still play jump around?
You have to.
Charlie Dern it's his biggest gripe, Big Jim.
You have to. It's a tradition.
So dumb.
But it's a mockery. It's a mockery at that point. It's a mockery of everybody that played before. It's a mockery of that guy who accidentally played it the first time. And those crazy drunken kids in the audience made one of the greatest traditions in college football. It's all over. It's finished. They're irrelevant.
Where's the line? Where's the line? Is it like you have to be within 2 scores? Where is it for Big Jim where you're like, that's okay, I can accept that they're playing jump around?
Well, I mean, they can play jump around as long as they're in it. I mean, and I guess they can. It's up to them. It's not up to me. They can play jump around as much as they want. But it's just if they're getting small and they're going into the fourth quarter, it's just kind of a joke. Especially, well, and the other thing I think you're going to find too, especially with some of the closer situated Big Ten opponents, they're not going to sell out Camp Randall anymore, and all of a sudden you're going to have all these Iowa fans or Michigan fans or Ohio State fans in there, and when they're kicking the crap out of Wisconsin going into the fourth quarter, they're going to be doing jump around.
Is that what they want? I don't think so.
We've seen it happen in the past.
I still think the attendance, I know everyone's looking at the figure. It was like 65,000 some change yesterday. It was the worst home opener attendance since 92. It was against a MAC team. It was on a Thursday night, and it was coming off the first year that this team didn't have an AP poll ranking. So I think that factors into it a bit, the fair weather fans and everything else. But I think Saturday afternoon, the weather's fine, or it's not. You'll still have enough people sticking it out.
They're selling tickets for the first time since Barry Alvarez's second or third season.
Buy them now before you can.
It was what Barry said in the opening press conference. But it's so disappointing. And, like I told you guys before, I don't think there's this huge clamoring from the Badger faithful to go out and start spending big money. But it's just so disappointing. I mean, I look at it now and I'm like, would Joe Thomas have gone to Wisconsin? No. Would Chris McIntosh have gone to Wisconsin? No. Would Tausch? Sure. But then after he had a good sophomore, well, no, because Tausch wasn't as high, and he would tell you this himself. Tausch wasn't as highly regarded coming out of high school as those other two guys.
Right, just looking for a chance.
But he would have come in and played great in his freshman and sophomore year, and he'd be off playing at Penn State or something like that because he would have proven himself at that point, and he'd go transfer someplace where he could make money and where he could, get a bigger, audience so that he could get drafted higher. I don't blame these guys because that just doesn't exist at Wisconsin anymore.
So I want to narrow down the issue because it can't be on defense. What did you see yesterday that made you go, we're still not going in the right direction, and I feel just as crappy as I did a year ago against Western Michigan in Week 1?
Well, to be fair, I don't know that I would have felt any better anyway, but if they would have beaten Miami of Ohio, even if they would have given up a touchdown, if they would have beaten Miami of Ohio 35-7, then I would have felt better about it. But, I mean, what was it, 3-0 going into the fourth quarter?
Backup QB was in, though.
I mean, it was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And they shouldn't be in a 17-0 game with Miami of Ohio. They're going to get absolutely pulverized in Tuscaloosa. And, and that's just going to be the beginning of it. Corey, did I hear you say yesterday you thought they were going to be 7-5 or 8-4?
I think 7-5's in there.
I'm right there with you.
8-4 would be the
absolute
absolute
ceiling. Where the hell are
ceiling.
you finding 7 wins?
We'd go Middle Tennessee. What just happened against Miami of Ohio? Washington. Right. We're getting the Axe back. We are beating Iowa. That's 5.
I still maintain they're going to beat Michigan this year. I think Michigan is paper champions.
Indiana's going to have a huge drop-off. The poll rankings already showed that, and I think they lost a lot of talent. Yeah, you have to steal a couple. I think if you just go chalk, they're a 3-9, 4-8 team at best. But I think they're capable of stealing a couple. They brought a lot of returners back.
Well, you got to be honest. You would pick Houston versus the Michigan Wolverines.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's wrong.
Yeah, that's where I want to be careful with the Michigan predictions here.
I still will go that route. I'm wearing the W on the arm. Promise you that.
The Battle of the Marsh featuring Bo Schembechler's boys. There you
go. It's a beautiful barn over there at HoustonCon. That's all I know.
It is.
All right, fellas. Take care.
Thanks, Big Jim. We appreciate you, man.
Phone lines are going well today. Thank you, Micah Parsons. Thank you, Badgers, for striking up conversation. I still think everyone has something to say about this team. And I can't wrong Big Jim for having the opinion that Wisconsin football is not where he wants it to be, but I do think they are heading in the right direction. And it's a huge cliche, but as you said it applies here. Rome was not built in a day. Mm. And I feel like this team took 2 steps backwards last year from a games won per year standpoint. This is a gauntlet. 6-6, 7-5. You can't wrong Coach Fickell. And here's the other thing. What does he have to do? Like, if this were to have been, which it no longer is, it very easily could have been, though, a season-ending injury for Billy Edwards Jr., you know how many QB1 started and finished games Luke Fickell would have had in 3 years? 10 of them.
That's unbelievable.
In 36 opportunities, 10 of those games would have happened where Luke Fickell's starting quarterback, who you craft your entire offense around, started and finished the game. And they're 8-2 in those games.
They're going in the right direction. You and I, we're going to be the apologists this year, but it's happening. Hang on tight. Badgers, the 7 wins. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming.
Got to upset a couple teams. I think they're closer than people are. And week ones are weird. Let's look around the Big Ten. I don't want to go apples to oranges here, but Rutgers almost lost to Ohio.
I mean, it's this time.
To Ohio. Buffalo was hanging around against Minnesota. Like, if we want to play this game, out of the 4 Big Ten games yesterday, you know which team won by the biggest margin over their opponent? Wisconsin by 17. Could have been 24 if we want to play the ifs, ands, or buts game. And O'Neal threw a dot to the corner of the end zone, or at least floated it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not worried about what we saw yesterday. I think you're going to see much more of what we expected from Middle Tennessee State. Again, Badgers, this is going to be a crucial year for the future of the program. Hang tight. Don't panic over one game. A lot of weird stuff happened. It's going to be better next week.
When we return from one team who hasn't allowed a point yet this year to another, Beaver Dam football is taking on Menominee Falls tonight. Your official preview on the other end here on 1430 ESPN and Daily Dodge TV.
This is Kristen.
Partner your business with the most famous 4 letters in sports, ESPN. For more information, click on the Contact Us tab at dailydodge.com.
From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell. A Beaver Dam native is caught up in Wednesday's mass shooting in Minneapolis. Father Dennis Zarin is the pastor of the church that runs the school where 2 children were killed and 17 others were wounded. A Cambria man is accused of internet crimes against children. Brett Berryman's internet provider flagged some allegedly illegal images. He's been convicted of child porn crimes before. Vice President J.D. Vance says tariffs will bring jobs and wages back to the United States. He was in La Crosse yesterday. On the other hand, Governor Evers' office says Trump's tariffs are increasing costs by millions. The highways should be busy this Labor Day weekend. Wisconsin transportation officials are urging people to drive safely. And the Shalom Wildlife Zoo in West Bend is welcoming 4 new tiger cubs. 2 of the 4 are rare, 1 white and 1 golden. There are only 200 white tigers in the world and even fewer golden tigers. From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell.
Your home for Beaver Dam High School Golden Beaver Athletics is Daily Dodge TV and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam. Our remodeling sale is going on right now, and you can save big during our mess. Stop in and take a look at all of the fun projects that we're doing inside the store and save with up to 80% off of list prices. Everything in the store is marked down, from clearance merchandise to mattresses to special purchase items. Sofas, sectionals, and lazy boy chairs are all yours at massive discounts. Take advantage of our messy days during our remodeling sale going on right now at Slumberland Furniture, Beaver Dam.
On top of the world or bouncing back, there's no better time than right now to take care of yourself. Marshfield Clinic Primary Care helps you stay on track with recommended screenings and annual visits, or simply connect on your overall well-being. And if you find yourself in need of care quickly, we often offer same-day appointment options. Marshfield Clinic. Enjoy life with confidence. Explore appointment options today at marshfieldclinic.org/primary care.
This fall, there's only one place to be, Camp Randall Stadium. Wisconsin football returns with can't-miss matchups, including Maryland, Iowa, Washington, and more. From the first touchdown to jump around in the celebration of the 5th quarter. Experience the traditions and unforgettable memories that make Wisconsin football so special. Single-game tickets are now on sale. Lock in your spot today by visiting uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Wisconsin football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
A beautiful view is waiting for you. Hometown Glass and Improvement are your trusted pros for new windows and sunrooms. Schedule your free estimate now and choose from an amazing selection of windows. Hometown Glass carries over 10 top brands, and you can visit their showroom at North 7171 Raceway Road in Beaver Dam. Check them out online at Hometown Glass and Improvement or call 887-3757 to schedule your free estimate today.
Thinking about selling your home but feeling overwhelmed? At Kledowski Real Estate, we totally get it. And no, you don't have to clean out the whole basement before calling us. Whether it's fresh paint, decluttering, or just figuring out where to start, we're happy to talk it through. No pressure, no suits and ties. Just a friendly conversation to help you get the best results with the least amount of stress. We'll meet you where you're at, even if that's buried under a pile of laundry. Let's make your move together. Podolsky Real Estate, your trusted real estate advisor.
A show that's so good, you could hang up an in-season tournament banner for it. The Damn Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun. This is 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
If you want to see a magic trick, we're going to fit 2 segments into about 7 minutes. Ready, set, go. This is the Beaver Dam football preview on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV, and this is the Damn Sports Show. You can also listen to us live in the ESPN Wisconsin app. Beaver Dam football 1-0 at Menominee Falls 0-1. 6:45 p.m. is when the pregame coverage starts on Daily Dodge TV and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Wade Bates, Tim Ladrin, Wally Lukashinsky have the call. We'll do one player to watch for each team. We will start with the hosting Menominee Falls squad.
I'm going to start with the quarterback, Anishka Armasign, and I think I drilled the name, but he's going to be another veteran that they bring back. I know that they won or didn't win a game last year, but he threw the ball, and he looked increasingly comfortable as the year went on. The question is for them, will they be able to run it? Against this stout defense for the Golden Beavers, it's going to be a big, big ask for Armasign. So that's, for me, if Menominee Falls is going to compete, it's going to start right there at the signal caller.
I'm going to cheat on this, 1, because it's fun, 2, because I can't find stats on Menominee Falls. Head coach Bobby Regent Smith. I know this team fell by a boatload, got shut out by Slinger last week. Beaver Dam is no pushover either. I'm curious to see how he can rally his troops, help them respond. That first drive on offense, is it a 3-and-out? Is it long and drawn out? Do they score? That's going to set the table, and it starts with the head coach because those are your scripted plays.
Nicely done. I like the cheating, too. I do a good job at that typically. Yeah. Flipping it to the Golden Beavers. How about senior Tyler Winkle last week? 3.5 tackles for loss. 5'7" senior. He's just a heart and soul motor guy right there in the middle of the defense. Again, this running attack for Menominee Falls was really not a factor last year. So now you've got to look again. If they are going to improve, it's going to be a big test for that interior defensive line. Tyler Winkle, I think, is going to have another big, big game. I think he's getting at least another 2 tackles for loss.
Get to know Tyler Winkle. Could be one of those household names by the end of this season. Landon Groh made a nice first impression for 2025. Last week, 6 tackles, 1 sack. 1.5 TFLs in the season opener against Fort Atkinson last week. I expect him to wreak havoc on that backfield, the quarterback situation for Menominee Falls. And the first touchdown reception of the year, Max Moritz. Keep an eye on him, too. When we return, Friday picks on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. We're going to go quick.
Here's a look at your weatherology. Slight chance for storm.
Attention sports fans. Whether you're chasing the hottest rookie card, that next big autographed sports card, or looking for expert card services, Real Sports Cards is here for you. For everything from sports to Pokemon cards, visit the store in downtown Waupun today. Go to the Apple Store or Google Play and download the Real Sports Cards app for all live online card breaks. Watch, collect, and win from anywhere. Real Sports Cards, where sports fans come to play.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back September 9th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Texas Rangers.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in September 9th at 7:05 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
It's easier than ever to check your annual mammogram off your to-do list. Walk into Prairie Ridge Health in Columbus on the last Tuesday of any month to get your yearly mammogram. No appointment or referral needed. If you're over 40 years old and due for a yearly screening mammogram, just bring your insurance card and the name of your physician with you. Visit anytime between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. on the last Tuesday of every month. Learn more about the walk-in program and confirm upcoming dates at prairieridge.health.
McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam believes that everyone who labors has made America strong prosperous, and a great country. To celebrate Labor Day, McKinstry's is having a store-wide sale. McKinstry's Home Furnishings showroom is filled with sofas, reclining sofas, sectionals, and chairs at unbeatable savings, like Lazy Boy recliners starting at $349 and love seats starting at $699. Also save big on Simmons Beauty Rest and Symbol mattresses. Dining room and bedroom sets are also marked down for this event. Add the finishing touches to your home with pictures, area rugs, and accessories. McKinstry's offers you all the latest styles, always designed to fill your home with comfort and quality. Hurry in now and discover the Labor Day savings at McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Sale ends Saturday, August 30th. McKinstry's will be closed on Monday, September 1st to celebrate Labor Day.
There's power in your smile. Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster from Columbus Family Dental. Your smile can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. At Columbus Family Dental, we are committed to protecting your grin from ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental is now accepting every kind of smile. Call us today for a free, no-pressure consultation at 623-5559.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Sometimes they have no idea what they're saying out loud. Isn't that what local sports talk is all about? Hear more shenanigans now on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and the Dam Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun.
Welcome back to the Dam Sports Show. We are doing our Friday picks. For the last time before we have a little change, we're doing a contest that will involve all of you at home. More to come on that. We'll start promoting that right away early on next week, and you'll be able to jump in as soon as next weekend. Hint, it does sink in with the NFL season, so keep an eye out for that. Friday picks, Wally went 3-0 last week. I went 2-1. Texas at Ohio State is our first game. I wonder.
Horns down!
Yeah,
Coming for you, TJ Zweifel. It ain't happening, my friend. Ohio State starts 1-0. Vegas is on my side. That's what matters. If the guys in the desert are rooting for an Ohio State win, that's where it's going to be. They're starting the year 1-0.
Big Jeremiah Smith game. I feel it loading. All right. And it's a college football playoff rematch, too.
It is.
Did you look at that? Except it's Arch now instead of Quinn Ewers. LSU at Clemson. I'll go the Nuss Bus.
I wish I could. I'm rooting for LSU, but I'm taking Dabo Sweeney and the Clemson Tigers at home in the Battle of Death Valleys.
Okay. And Notre Dame at Miami without Carson Beck. Or without Cam Ward. They now have Carson Beck.
Cam Ward's just always on your mind. It's very evident even in this, but I hate to admit that I'm actually with you.
That defense was horrible last year.
Notre Dame is a dark horse national title contender this year. I feel like people often don't take them very seriously. They get overhyped in the preseason. This doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like now all of a sudden I feel like you're getting closer in the NIL era to the 80s Notre Dame, and I think that gets started here again. Big season coming for the Irish.
Yeah, I'll go Notre Dame too. I'm not a big Carson Beck. Okay, here's my narrative. Miami almost went to the playoff last year. Cam Ward, my favorite college football player arguably ever, is gone. I think there's no better way to learn how good he was than by Miami going 6-6 this year, and it starts this week. All right, thank you so much for joining. Homer Hour up next for a little bit, and then it is Brewers pregame coverage. Nope, that won't matter. That's on 95.3. Homer Hour is up next here on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Have a good Labor Day weekend.
Son, how are you feeling?